Hello. Welcome back. I have returned once more, yet again, once more. My name is Akuma. I am the art lead for this new indie game, and yeah, welcome to devlog number 2. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for the support, for everyone who supported the last video and also joined the Discord. We were not expecting that many people to be interested and to just be just positive, just with this much feedback going on. Like I said in the last video, this is a project that's taken us a long time, and it's just really nice to get it out there and to see some positive feedback. So for this week's devlog, it might not be as long as the previous one, because the previous one kind of like established everything, but for this one I was thinking I'll introduce a game mechanic, which are the traps, and I'll take you through my process about how I go making and designing these traps. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so like I said in the last video, this is the vending machine. This is where you'll literally buy everything you need, from upgrades to guns to traps. And so today I wanted to talk about the trap section of the vending machine. And then so in the vending machine, you, like I said, you have your light tower upgrades, and then you have your trap section. So right now we are planning on having 16 total traps, as you can see, so 8 times 2. There's a decent amount of traps that have yet to be finished. We have conceptualized all of them, and some of them have been made in the sprites. They just haven't been added in the game yet, but we are planning on 16 traps. So there's 2 categories. There's ground categories, and then there's the aerial categories, and those are where the traps are placed. What's interesting about the vending machine is that it literally is that. Nola, another one of our art devs, who's not on this project but hopefully will be on future ones, he made this. So I don't know, the whole concept of like the keypad and then the vending machine was then created. So it literally is, you look for the serial number like you would in a vending machine, and then you type it in. And yeah, and then you get this box, right? And you get to walk around with it, and jump and do whatever you want. And then you can place down. So if you press Q, you can place this trap down. And this goes for both sides. So the box will flash red when you are not allowed to put a box there, but you are allowed to put it there. And so there is some mechanics with how you cannot place a ground trap on top of another ground trap. So for example, if I try to place a dandelion on top of this dandelion, it's not gonna work, right? But if I place it more like next to it, it will. So this prevents like trap cramming, and it also is why we have 2 traps categories. You can put an aerial trap on top of a grounded trap, but you can't put an aerial trap on top of an aerial trap, or a grounded trap on top of a grounded trap. Alright, so now for the second part of this video, I will like to go through my side of the process for creating and designing traps. Usually the design of traps on my side, at least, is kind of, first of all, I think about like the utility. Like I talk about it with the team, and you know, there's a lot of back and forth and feedback and all of that. But so we talk about kind of what we need to make, and what kind of mechanics we could have in the game that would make it fun. And I think a really core part of it is really trying to make each trap different, right? Right here on the screen is a lot of different traps, a lot of concepts, a lot of ideas. Not all of these make it in the game. Most of them do here. But this is kind of where it starts. It starts in my sketchbooks after we've talked about how the traps are made, or what purpose they're going to serve, and how they're going to play. Also a big part of visual design is also, well, the utility, right? What is it? And therefore it kind of dictates what it's going to look like. So it usually starts with a few sketches in my sketchbook, as I try to figure out the kind of general idea that I want. And then here is the sketching part, where what you're looking at right now. So this is kind of where I go in and I just like start sketching traps. So there's gonna be a trap with like honey, so I was doing some honey sketches over here. And then you have some traps here that you might recognize that I showcased earlier that are in the game, and then some others that are not in the game yet, or that we have not showcased. So for today, I was thinking that I will showcase how I design a trap. So there's this drone turret that basically is in the sky and shoots down at ground enemies. And so I haven't designed, this is a rough sketch of it right here, but I have not designed, as you can see, very much of it yet. So I will be designing this trap, and then I will also be animating this trap, which is alright. So here, usually after I sketch them out, I import them onto their own files, so I can kind of design them more into detail, and yeah, so I'm gonna get cracking. Here also, after I have somewhat of a design, I can try to play with color, thanks to the bucket tool. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of here, and then I test out like maybe what I want it to look like. Start animating a little bit, rough out animations for things like the propellers. This is in this example, just to see kind of like why, because the animation comes after, so I have to figure out like how they work, how it's gonna how the design plays into the animation. See like propellers turning like that, but sideways is a little hard, but I mean, testing it out, I can see what works and what doesn't. Yeah, and then so I mean this is I'd say done. I kind of like where it's at. So I'm gonna save it, but this is kind of the process I have for designing traps, kind of building them all on one big spreadsheet and then bringing them over and working on them individually, and then there's the animation, which is a very time consuming process, but it's very fun in my opinion. So let me save this.